for the next mountain. A second summit awaits you. You must conquer the mountain and your inner self. Okay, so we can get firm snow with very severe storms or very rough terrain. The first one we did was firm snow and rough terrain, so similar, but it didn't have a third option. Or maybe the third option wasn't so bad. Okay, so firm snow or sturdy rock is fine, right? They're all good ones. But then we get very rough terrain, or very severe storms. This one also has very severe storms. Andy Tech, thank you so much for the 32 months worth of pizza.
Panz Pizza.
Appreciate all the support, man. How you been, dude? I don't think we want the colder nights. Like, we've got night traveling as part of our points. I'm assuming the character's carrying over. So let's go on that. But I don't know if we want very severe storms. And heavy blizzard sounds terrible with very severe storms. Maybe the cold nights... maybe we can deal with that below the summit. We'll find out. Sturdy rock, rough terrain, very cold nights. Yeah, we're doing really well, man. Very excited for a whole bunch of RPG releases over the next couple months. You feel butterflies in your stomach as you take in the second summit. It's so beautiful and so deadly. Although the mountain remains a mystery to you and you have encountered phenomena you can't explain, you feel a deep sense of contentment. Big Mass Effect trilogy, Biomutant. Solasta releases this like a day after Biomutant, so it comes out of early access, so we're gonna have to squeeze that in there. We're playing Dragon Age Inquisition at the moment. And then Dark Alliance, which is not a remake. It's like a continuation in the story, but slightly different control. It's less isometric and more. But that's looking to be more multiplayer as well, so we might have to see who else is playing that. Baldur's Gate eventually, probably, yeah. Okay, we didn't come here to solve island mysteries. We came here to test ourselves against nature and to achieve the impossible. Next time we'll push you to your limits, but this is the path you've chosen. Oh, so it is a direct continuation. Nice, it's a 3-act story. Alright, so going from one summit to the next summit to the... Whoa! Yeah, I've done a couple playthroughs of Darkest Dungeon. That's up there. We are starting much lower than last time though. Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's got a very good pacing between in the loop. So I think we're just gonna meander up to the first one first, right? There's no point. We're not going like this way or anything. Oh, or are we? Like, wow! Look at all the everything's dotted around the mountain. Like you could possibly go. You know what? I'm gonna go this way first for whatever reason. But I think we just sort of amble up this way, take what's in front of us. What a sorry starting point, though. Like, Alright, so I think we go this one first with the climbing stick. Oh, we still have the exact same supplies. You don't get to restock up. Wow. Okay. A golden eagle suddenly lands in front of you, its wings carrying its majesty to the ground. Fascinated, you watch it, and it watches you too, unafraid. Can't explain it. The encounter feels magical. Fully wrapped up in this moment, you regain... we seem to be gaining warmth anyway. Sanity's gonna... Does sanity go up? No, let's just grab the warmth. That's the biggest stat gain. Okay, where's the next... The treasure is there. They're all ones? They're all ones. That's like, I think Chromo pointed that out as well. Handy. Discover a chest that's almost completely buried in the snow. Okay, we're going to lose a little bit of temperature. And some energy. We're going to gain some oxygen, but that's because... Yeah, but anyway, we need supplies. You find a vacuum flask filled with tea in the chest. Good enough. Hit the cave up? Or are we ignoring the cave? I think we're hitting the cave up, right? Yep. Okay, it's only a little bit out the way. They're all ones. Have we got the thing on? We got the walking stick? Yep. Let's go. You enter a cave. It's dry and sheltered from the wind. Further back, you see a small tunnel leading into the darkness. Let's explore the tunnel. You want to explore the tunnel, but it's so dark you can't see your hands in your face. We're going to step into the darkness. You crawl through on all fours. After a while, you encounter some rubble. Passageway has collapsed. You do get experience for doing that, which I think is important to do. And I think having a sleep is good in the cave while we're here. Wow, we're losing body temperature sleeping in the cave. Wonder if it's worth a full fill up. Probably not. We also should be using like our sprint, I think. Okay, especially since it's daytime-ish, right? There's the next point of interest. Which is 1-1... That's the first time we'd swap to something else, so let's go there. Minus 40% energy cost on all terrain. Should we just be using that on cooldown? I think we should if we look like we're traveling for enough time before sleeping. And we want to get that body temperature up as well, so... And we don't have any critical interruption options, so... It's... Oh, Panz, hang on. Okay, we do have the required walking thing on. I like how it's got it shows how much time's still left on it. Oh, well, the treasure's there. Okay, so we've got to think. If we then go from there to there, it's only slight detour. Okay, so we want to go to like there. There all ones. Wouldn't mind finding a tent, you know. Just saying. Pile of garbage. You stand in front of a fissure completely befuddled as it's full of empty cans, torn clothing and other junk. A sharp stench fills your nostrils. Someone has left a pile of garbage here. We can lose a lot of temperature sorting through the garbage, and I don't think it's worth it. We can use a little bit of temperature having a quick look, though. You lean over the edge, fish, you get a better look at the garbage. It reeks of dead animals and feces. Your eyes start to sting, but as you reach down... Why are we reaching down? Like, why we... A tattered backpack full of provisions. They're still good. You quickly transfer them into your own pack and continue on your way. We've got some food that we've pulled out of the rotting carcasses and feces. Alright. Can't go back that way, so that's where we're looking. We have to make a decision whether we want to go there. That's a common point. So that's where we're going. After we go to there, we're climbing out with the climbing stick. Let's go. I like this. What do we call it? Strategy light? I mean, I don't like the fact that I can see... Look how daunting. I wonder if that must be what it feels like, right? If you're doing something like this mountain climbing, right? You're at the base or very close to the base. You look up knowing where you have to go. And you're just like, how far away is that? Every time that I look up there, I'm like, look how far we have to go. And I guess that's the thing. Like, don't... What's the... Like, one step... The journey one step at a time sort of deal, or... Any of the cliches, don't look to the end because you'll never make it, or... But it's got that feel. It's like, just don't look at how much you have to do or you'll be overwhelmed. Okay, there is a way around that way. But that's definitely better, as it's one straight up and then across. Yeah, okay. So no matter what, we're going to here. So we're going to... So it looks tedious that I'm swapping back and forth between the hiking stick. We started with one. This character started with one of the bits of gear. I think it was the one for ascending. No, I think it was the walking stick, actually. It looks closer than what it is, too. The summit moves away from you at the same pace you're climbing. Ah, stupid summit. So we have... this one gives us a 15% time reduction on flat, or a 1 height difference climb. Right? The other one gives us the same time saving, but on 2, 3, 4, or 5 height differences. Oh, so that's something to check as well. We probably shouldn't be climbing up 6 or 7 height difference. Right? So you normally only have one of those, if any, but we found the other one, so we save time by climbing. Whereas it really makes you wonder. To a certain extent, you'd probably be better off... It's only 15% though. So you're probably better off going in a straight line if it meant a couple of 2 steps along the way with something like that, versus walking all the way around them all, or zigzagging. Okay, we can go straight out from there, so that's not too much of a loss. The up and down here, though, is a thing. So we are getting cold. If this is a... This could be... We've encountered old toothless ladies in cabins, sitting out on their front porch up in the mountains. So if this is one of those, hopefully she'll give us some energy or warmth. We want an old woman sits in front of a crooked hut. She wears a friendly, toothless smile, motions you to sit with her, recharge your strength. You do as she suggests and regain health or warmth. Definitely warmth. Health is pretty reasonable. Is that a metaphor? No. Actual deal. I wonder if we want to be sleeping during the day. Like, we're going to need to crack out the tent soon, though. Your stomach rumbles, your gut suddenly start to cramp. You only just manage to pull your pants down in time to empty your bowels. Ignore to chew on some herbs. Doesn't take long for your digestion to settle and you're able to continue your journey. Hey, we're able to use the herbs to do something other than make us insane. Wait, not make us insane. Alright, we have a thing there or there. And then point of interest like there or there. Either way, we've got to leave through that one. If we go that way, we got to come back. So if we have to come back no matter what. Alright, so we'll go to this one, I think. Is it all flat? With some ones who want walkings. Sanity was my dump stat. Is there a benefit to planning longer tours? No. Probably like clicking further away just to see what the terrain looks like to some of them, because you can't get a good feel like the highlighted green path. If you can clearly see there's nothing in between and you've only got one sort of walking, like whether it's a climbing stick or a walking stick, then it probably doesn't matter. You probably just benefit is your real life gameplay. You click it and let the person walk. You hear a soft squeaking coming from somewhere. You take a look around and discover a mountain hare cowering inside a rock fissure. It trembles as you approach, but it does not try to flee. You suspect it might be injured. Do we get food if we kill it? What purpose would we actually want to spare a mountain hare? Especially since we don't have supplies and stuff. Like, that's food, right? The goat I could understand because we're at the top of the mountain and chance of killing goat slim, but killing injured hare. Its hind legs are broken. It won't survive the night. Yeah. You gently stroke its fur. Its little heart is pounding, but its heartbeat slows and it gradually relaxes the longer you keep its company. Your hand slowly drifts towards its throat. It's thin and bony. There's a quiet crack as you snap its spine. The hare is no longer suffering. Now, we actually gain sanity for that. Okay. Whenever you use a consumable item, you get some sanity. More experience events in events during the night, or extreme geology. Whenever you suffer a dangerous terrain event, you gain some experience. Yeah, okay. We might have to crack out the tent soon. We'll probably check this one out. Yeah, it's kind of... I mean... Yeah, there's no benefit to planning really long paths. Like, just going, okay, we're just going to go there. Even if this was all single steps up all the way, you don't get anything by having a... Like, there's no speed gain for doing it or anything. So it makes sense to sort of... Oh, that gets us... That's a pretty solid line. Look at the... Hang on. Oh, there we go. Can you go via that one? Okay. There's a treasure chest right here, which we'd plan to get back to. So we're going to take that one. Make sure we've got the right walking stick. We do. Nearby the camp, there is a torn tent. You could take time to search. Yeah, we want to... We're going to lose a lot of temperature here because it's nighttime probably. We're going to lose a lot of temperature anyway. So for an extra hour and only a little bit more, hopefully we gain a tent from this. We got boots. Minus 30% energy cost on ice. Okay, but we're on the... very little ice here. Alright. So it looks like we're cracking out the tent soon. There's a cave there. That one's like a treasure. Oh, that looks painful. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Let's go this way. So if we're heading sort of like out to there-ish. Okay. I wonder if we can last until the sun comes out. Is that when we sleep? What happens if we go sleep now? We get too cold. We're getting really cold. We're going to lose 11 degrees anyway because I think we're only 11 degrees. Oh, man. You can choose to sleep and not use tent. And we're going to lose the same amount of temperature. So why do you sleep in a tent? What's the point of the tent? So at night, -5 body temperature per hour when moving or when resting. +1 body temperature per hour when resting in the tent, except if it's cold. That definitely does not indicate +1 temperature, body temperature per hour when resting or in events. Well, sanity goes down, but like, so I was trying to work out, like, why would we want the tent? Like, what? Unless we sleep in the tent during the day. That's the only thing I can think of. If the daytime sleep in a tent will give us warmth. Okay, now we can do the running thing. Where's this event? It's like there somewhere. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go here with the... Let's put that on first. And then we're going to go do the sprinty thing once we're at the top. Oh wait, we've got thermos now. We should just thermos. We're going to run. Gain temperature. While moving through the rough terrain, so you step on a... There. Try again. While moving through rough, stony terrain, you step on a treacherous piece of rock, twisting your ankle. Stupid ankle. Alright. Now we're sprinting during the daytime to try and gain some temperature. It's worth very little. Okay, the other option is sleep during the day, which is going to be a temperature drop. Wow. There goes all my temperature. Alright, so it is going to be thermos use then. My hands are still frozen. So because we're carrying an injury across from the first... this run could be tough because we're carrying an injury through. So I guess that's it. You want the first run to be as smooth as possible. And we're really... One other thing I've noticed too, we're really on the edge of the boundary. I think heading up the middle is better because then it gives you a chance to go left or right. Whereas at the moment we're sort of like... We're either going up the same track or we can veer left. So we've only... Or, you know, so we've kind of cut our options in half. Well, in thirds. I don't know. You'd normally go... anywhere from far left through to straight and then to far right. So we've cut out, you know, a little over half the options. No, you still have straight. Depends how many degrees you get. You don't really get the full degree spectrum. So maybe there's still be like a swing really far left somewhere around there, up. Anyway, we have less choices. Okay, so there's that option. Ish. We'll probably do both of these first, no matter what. Or there's sort of like here to there. And then we're sort of heading around that way. Or we could head up from that one. I think this one is the better option here. So it depends how we want to get there. Whether we want to go from like there to there. Or if we want to go from... Well, it's saying that way's better as well. There is something there though. I think that's probably better. Hit this one and that one. Head over to that encounter. And then head across to there. Alright. Is the left road snowy or icy? This one's firm snow. That's not firm. That's the ice there. So we do have the boots that'll help us on the ice, like, but there's not much of it. But climbing the ice, if we go up the ice, might be, maybe. You ask questions, dude. Gives me a talking point. Plus, it might give me some thinking that I didn't think of. Walking stick. We're maintaining just enough body temperature here. Because we've got this. This is still active. Not for very long, though. You hear voices coming from behind a rock face. The soothing smell of fried food hits your nostrils. You carefully peek around the corner. Some indigenous people are sitting around a campfire passing around a jug. The brew must pack a punch. Each mouthful makes the strangers grimace in pain. You make your presence known and they wave you over. They want you to join them. Accept their offer. You open your eyes and feel a stabbing pain in your temples. Your mouth feels fuzzy. What happened? Where did the others go? There is no sight of anything or anyone except for the extinguished campfire beside you. They just left you here. How stupid of yourself to let yourself get so drunk. But at least they didn't slit your throat. Well, we lost some sanity. We gained experience. We got heaps of energy. And we only lost a little bit of temperature because we haven't drunk from our thermos yet. So that was, overall, it's a win. So comes the question is, are we traveling at night? Okay, we could sleep because we've got a sprained ankle, which is costing us energy on terrains. Okay, so we should just sleep, I think. Just go for the long sleep. Okay, we are actually going to... we don't actually get too much. So we only have one tent use, though. But we have plenty of energy. I guess we're after the warmth. We'll thermos in the morning. Let's just... Yeah, okay. Then we can travel during the day. So we're deliberately only taking a small one since it's going to fill up... almost fill up our energy anyway. Let's thermos now. It's daytime though, so... Do we have a bonus? Okay, so that looks like we're going to be gaining temperature here because it's daytime, but it's not showing here. Biomutant looks really cool. Before I went live, I noticed Fextra Life put a new video out on it, but I didn't get to see it. They're showing all the classes. Oh, wow. Okay, so there's an issue that I didn't see before. That is a... I saw it from like this angle or something, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're just going to work our way over there. There is a... Oh. Yeah, I like how in that, if you, the physical appearance is related to the stats and stuff. So you want to have a smart dude, you end up with big head, because big brain. You discover some wild berries on a bush. They are bright in colour, orange almost. You hesitate, they could be poisonous. Yet a little sustenance would do you the world of good. Let's try one of the berries. Berries taste exotic and re-energize you. You are just about to reach into the bush for more when you stop. Your stomach tells you you've had enough. Okay, we're lucky. We could have been really sick. Okay, so that's telling us we're going to run out of energy like there. Right. Whereas that one, we're making it a lot further. I wonder if we can do like a makeshift. That's terrible. Can we just jump? Is there a spot we can jump from? Okay, so we actually make that one. So whether we, I think we just skip that encounter then. Yeah, I'll just head back to here. We might even... Oh, there's a thing there. Okay, cool. Alright, so we go walking stick to there. Okay, so that's the walking stick. What I'm going to do is we're going to use our no critical events, maybe. Let's see. So that should prevent us from having any you slipped and fell rubbish. Should prevent us from having a you slipped and fell. You're a couple of loose stones rolling down the mountain. One of them hits you on the torso. You lose 2.2 hit points. Prevents critical interruption events. Isn't that what this is? Oh, there's a little treasure behind that one. Alright, so I think we are going to that. So... I think I want that one. Alright, what do we got in the supplies? As you lean against the rock face, you notice a hollow behind a huge boulder. Somebody has left provisions there. We used a branch last time and it snapped. I don't know if we got anything. Let's push the boulder aside with some energy. You push against the boulder with all your might. Sweat drips down your forehead as the massive rock moves inch by painful inch. Finally, the gap is large enough to reach in and grab the provisions. We got a tent. And we leveled up. Lose less health in events. Reduce time in events is a good one. Gain body temperature while moving on stone. Yeah. There's that all too familiar smell of ethanol and herbs in the air. You listen, snoring sounds. You approach the source of the sound. Your 3 drinking buddies lie sheltered in a hollow, sleeping off their intoxication. they didn't, like, I don't want to search their valuables, right? Because they just left me there. But maybe we got that drunk that we told them to keep going. You know, so I'm not going to steal stuff from them, right? That's wrong. I'm not going to give them my tea though, so we're just going to let them sleep and go on our way. Did anybody get Legend of Keepers while I was in early access? I didn't. I've looked at it a few times, and every time I look at it, I remind myself I just don't want to get back into playing card games. And then I go buy a different card game. It's full release for almost a week now, yeah, I think. So really worthwhile or a lot better? I guess that's kind of hard because I know whenever I've tried to make that comparison, it's like, because you're coming from a point of view where you already have an opinion. Also not a card game. True. Not a card game, but strategy, roguish, lots of replay, learn. Card game good enough. Been playing for a few days, feel no urge to stop anytime soon. But Fallout exists. And so does Skyrim. Oh, what are we running out of there? No energy. Don't really want to sleep on the ice. Let's have some canned energy. We have a shrine. Shrines are really nice. Health is good. Let's pray for energy. Praying for warmth would have been good. Still, I agree with Kizron. It does feel good when you already have a game. Although Kizron has both. When you already have a game and enough improvements are made that make it feel better. Yeah. Increases amount of wanting to play. And especially the way that roguish games get developed these days, it almost makes you want to get your money's worth before they change it to something that you don't want to play anymore. Because that's going to happen, right? It's the inevitable. Oh wow, the game got popular. Quick, let's with it. You come across a corrugated metal shipping container covered in rust. Maybe occupiers left it as a storage facility. We are going to search everything. And we find a few provisions. There'll be like one can of soup. No, a single bandage. Can we sleep in the storage container? This would be something that I think would be an amazing addition. Might take a bit of tweaking for like their internal engine, or their logic engine to get it to work. But there's a sleep. Like, we open the sleep menu. We're at a shipping container in an event. It seems like that would be a really good thing to sleep in and probably shelter you from the cold. So provided you don't leave it, or even if you did leave the square and you came back to it, the shipping container would still be there, right? Being able to take use of that and say, okay, you know what? Let's pass some time because it's almost nightfall, and then let's sleep in the shipping container for added warmth. and then leave. Because right now I have to use a tent and lose body temperature because apparently I'm sleeping in the open. You're late to the party, so the game's bummer when it has like 8 seasons and all the content drops. I think that's one of the reasons that added, like, Slay the Spire had a lot of reasons that made it, gave it its success. And a lot of it was down to good design and, being a good game. But, a lot of contributing factors. And one of them was that because of where it was in early access and they had a roadmap that sort of let you know that there was going to be another at least one character, and all the other stuff they were doing, people weren't late to the party. Even though it had been iterated on for so long, it was already like 5 or 6 seasons in before it even thought about telling us they were going to release. But it felt like anyone was going to be starting on season 1, even though you were, people jumping in late were jumping in late. But the stigma of it's in early access, I haven't missed the start yet, So it's all about, it's a perception deal. But it was obvious from the start there was going to be a third class. Just from the layout, you could just tell. And other stuff. Like other changes were coming. You could just feel that there was more happening. We're actually having sanity issues I would say issues, but we're actually noticing sanity this time around. That'll take us close to daytime. I think we might actually... It's thermos. Hey Leprechaun, this game's really cool. We're in we're still in the first run, but we're in the second mountain. So we're probably going there, but then I think we're probably heading back out like this way. So this is where it's interesting, and I think you're still better off. It depends if we want to head that way, or if we want to head up sort of like that way. Like from there to head over to there, even though we could stay with our walking stick and only have the 1 height increments, it's probably just quicker to head up them all. Yes, very much so. You have to get to the top. Instead of going down to the bottom and then having to get back out, you have to get to the top and come back down. So we're trying to get to this glowy spot right there. You don't come all the way back down, you've just got to come down to like a safe point. And there's 3 classes. This is our first run, we did with Adventurer. 3 difficulties. And then in each one, 3 mountains. Each mountain is randomly generated? Assume so. So we climbed the first mountain, and we're on to the second summit. It's our first run, so can't delve too deep into game mechanics and whatnot. But I am under the understanding different generations. Okay, Okay, so I think that would be, if we go from there to like there, it's not terrible, but I think we want to be sort of heading up that way, maybe. So maybe I don't want to get that treasure. You reach a small plateau. A steep rock wall provides natural protection from the icy wind. Good place to take a break. Long extinguished fire suggests you're not the first to rest here. Take a break. On the mountaineers sat before you recovered from their exertions. You wonder who they were, what they were doing. I mean, we get some more experience, I guess. Take a look around. In a gap between two rocks, you find some empty cans of beans. The expiration date is listed as 50 years ago. Probably a group of mountaineers, judging by the number of cans. How strange. Take a look around, discover more provisions that will be useful as you continue your journey. Oh, we've got a thing of oxygen. That's awesome. Oh, that was worth it. I don't know if we want to go that cave. I think we're sort of heading up that way. So that's the next one. Yeah, not because it's there, because everyone else is. Well, the story at the very start was that this island, you know, was unbeknownst to the world until now. But obviously the people that lived here knew about it. But it feels weird, like they have a can of beans with expiration dates. I guess like maybe that's just the way human works. You can stuff and I don't know. I feel like if all of a sudden, right, theoretically, soonish in our world, an island appears, and a big enough island to have a huge settlement of people. You know, let's go in the millions. Would they have the same sort of stuff we have? Would they have developed canneries and jarring facilities, recycling and all that? Or is that just the combination of the whole world, you know, sharing technological gains? There is something on the ground in front of you. You reach down to find a can of beans that expired 50 years ago, just like when you found the gap in the rocks on a little plateau. Only this one is still closed. And it's been in the ice, but I'm not touching it. You would never touch a can of beans. Yeah, 50 years seems a bit much, right? Yeah, our tech is from sharing and whatnot. It is a... In a deep crevice in a rock, hidden behind some shrubbery, you find a fur pouch. Looks like it might have belonged to a hunter. Search the fur pouch. The pouch is empty. Just your luck. Alright. We're going to be out of energy doing that. Are we okay with that? The other option is sleep. I mean, daytime sleep is going to give us some body temperature. Nighttime movement's going to suck. But not as much as... Yeah, okay. Oh, there you go. I didn't know that. Steaming hot water bubbles out of a crack in the rock into a stone basin below. You dip your fingertips into the milky pool. It feels warm and soothing. A hot spring. You didn't expect to find any volcanic activity on the island, but then this whole region is full of surprises and inexplicable phenomena. Food preservation will be a thing, but canning might not be developed. That's true. But that's how we got a lot of that too as well. Like different nations had different food preservation. So when some civilizations went to different locations, they would see how the locals were doing food preservation and went, oh, we could actually use that. We didn't need to do that sort of extreme because we don't have this sort of hot weather, but we can use this in summer and it'll keep our stuff better. You know what I mean? Or the same for cold. There might be a way that places that are extremely cold probably have better heating solutions than places that only get a little bit chilly. But the ones that deal with extreme cold might be more efficient if used in the chilly ones. Maybe. So a lot of the sharing of stuff, yeah, definitely advancements, right? I believe it is roguish, yep. I'm led to believe. It's my first run. Maybe the occupiers kept the island in a secret order to exploit its unique properties, or maybe they themselves are responsible for these phenomena. You don't have answered any of these questions. You have to push onward to scale the summit. That's why you're here. All the puzzle pieces will come together once you're up there. You're sure of it. But first you want to stop for a rest. You can't resist the chance to take a hot bath. Interesting. It's going to give us a heap of sanity and some experience, but it's not going to raise our body temperature. That's kind of baffling. Alright, so a little bit of backtracking from that one. We're not going to go down to that cave. The other option is head up to there. Whoa. Okay, so it's like that way. If we go from there... How much backtracking is that? Quite a fair bit. Or we head off that way afterwards. I think that's the play. So if we want to get to there... Walking stick to there. We're in a spot. Do we want to sleep during the night? We're going to lose 6 degrees to sleep during the night, or we're going to lose a lot if we keep walking. Yeah, we lose 5 degrees an hour walking. And that'll take us right up into the sun in the morning. That's good. Sleeping on the ice. Maybe that could have been one of the issues. Alright. It's funny, like the small gain we make from swapping walking items, if that was included in the game where you get both and you did it, I'd probably be ripping them to shreds over how painfully optimal it is to do that. But since we found one and I'm doing it myself, it's a good experience. We found a way to optimize. Oh, that's good. Oh, we should be doing that as well. Yeah, I'll do the cooldowns after this. Your breath is taken away. Towering in front of you on the slope, bizarrely shaped masses of ice and snow and several tents not far away. Who set up camp here? You call out, but no one answers. Check the slope or approach the camp. Approach the camp. You slowly approach the camp. The ice crunches beneath your boots. Every step could be your last. You close your eyes. You finally reach your goal. Camp has been abandoned with not a soul in sight. They surely left long ago. You rummage through the things left behind and find some equipment. At least your efforts weren't in vain. What did we get? We got heavy boots. Okay, cool. So now not only do we swap between pickaxe and hiking staff, we've got to swap between ice boots and stone boots. You got to wonder if changing boots every 100 meters is worth it. Or probably less than that. We level up. Less health. Gain a meditation event. Whenever you suffer a dangerous terrain event, gain some energy. Lose some oxygen, gain some energy. So that's just, that's an active ability though. Swap oxygen for energy, which is great now. It's like swapping boots in PoE for boss fights. Dude, I got a 6-link. The stats are not quite as good as my 5-link. But I'm okay with it. I got it from the Dusk fragment. I put it in and was set to run some Vile side areas from the map device, and like first pack of mobs dropped an energy shield piece with 6 reds. I'm like, okay, I did the at least 1 blue in the on the crafting table and got 6 blues. I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. Oxygen for energy, really hard in the death zone, but great now. And we're almost about to get to that. That could be really good early game for the next mountain as well, but... Whenever you suffer a dangerous terrain event, like, do we want to make our dangerous terrain events a bit more appealing? I wonder how much some energy is, though. Let's take the ability. 40 oxygen for 25 energy once a day. Again, it's not bad before you hit the death zone. Like, we use that right now. Right? And we'll gain oxygen as we walk. Also going to use these 2 cooldowns as well. So we can gain some temperature as we go. So we're either going up like that way. Where's the summit? We're up there. There's like a mini summit here that you'd have to go, but I think if you go up there, you have to go down again. Whereas it looks like there's not a clear shot, but that looks like a fairly reasonable shot from there. So I think we want to get up to like that spot. So if that's the case, we want to do it probably from there. Is there anything to collect along the way? There's one here. So what if we... That's a cave, though. Oh, that seems reasonable, though. All right, let's do that. Head to the cave. Okay, so we got the heavy boots for the stone. Right, and they're 10%. So we want to swap onto the ice boots on the tile before the ice change. Right, and then we're going to do dumb maths for this. So we want ice boots for that, since they're only 10%, but the ice is at 30%. Yep. And then we either swap to stone for double climb. I don't think we do. Alright, so that's to like there. Alright, then we change to that. We'll leave the ice boots on until we get to the top. So if you swap on a double for a climb, you lose half of one versus the half you would have... Okay, hang on. If you're on flat, if we're using a walking stick for that one, you have half and half on the walking stick, but you get 2. So you get the benefit of 1, but not of 2. If you swap... Okay, so you do want to swap for a double. Now you want the swap boots. Swap there. Swap sticks. Oh, I had the wrong stick on. Oh, Panz, wrong stick. At any rate, you enter a cave. It's dry and sheltered from the wind. At the rear of the cave, you notice a faint shimmer of light. Follow the light and find the fireflies. Some sanity and some experience. Do we want to sleep here? Not yet. Check out the sleep thing though. Wow, we lose a lot of temperature sleeping in here. Yeah, I don't think so. Leave the cave. Alright, so now we're looking at getting to there, right? So to get to here, definitely want that. That's only from 5 up, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. I don't think you get more than 5. Okay, that one's probably worth going to, because it is so close. Yeah. And then we get to look, there's the... Okay, it's looking like a decent run. We discover a tree! We don't know how long it could survive at this... How it could survive at this altitude, but the sight comforts you. Okay. Yeah, so up here somewhere, and then up across the top, I think. You pull your hood down around your face as you glance at the ground. You notice some tracks in the snow. The paw prints look like they belong to a bear, but the pattern is unusual, as if the bear was walking on its hind legs. Well, I mean, we follow the tracks. Track leads you to a cave. A steaming kettle hangs over a fire pit. Next to the fire sits a figure, draped from head to toe in animal furs. A hermit. Could this be your bear? I'm definitely not giving him the oxygen flask. Talk to him. The hermit gazes stoically into the fire, his face obscured by a wild thatch of beard. He ladles the contents of the kettle into a bowl and hands it to you. The stew has a strong odor that stings your nostrils. You can't help thinking that if you're not careful, you might wind up in the kettle yourself. We're going to eat it anyway. Sacred Hospitality achievement unlocked. You have no idea what you're eating, but it's doing a world of good. You thank the hermit for his hospitality, but he won't make eye contact with you. He returns to the fireside. You decide this is a good time to head out. Yeah, that's the thing. If he's not going to need the oxygen, right? He's probably, and he might not even know what it is. Although we did find it up here, so either way, we got a lot of energy from that. Yeah, it does look like a long way up, but like, and this is something that I've really been in awe of when we started, like when we started playing. Like we were down here somewhere, right? And slowly, you know, little journey by little section, we're now here. And I remember looking up at that when we could barely see it off in the distance, and it looked so far away. Like, down there kind of far away, you know? So I think we're going to... Can we climb up? We can go that way. Across snow and some ice. Okay, we don't have any boots for snow, so we want to make sure we've got those boots on. We've got the walking stick on. That's the way we're going to go. So let's head to here. It's night time now, though. So we probably should be tenting it. We don't have a tent. Ah, poop. Like, we're going to lose our body temperature, but at least we're not traveling during the day. Trying to travel, which would be worse. We're going to gain some oxygen, though. We're going to gain energy. The long sleep is probably... passes enough time. We don't get as much energy efficiency out of it, but I think it's better to be closer to... Maybe we travel a little bit. Maybe we do a couple of... Oh, no. Don't go the whole way. I thought we were just going to go to there. Okay. That takes us pretty close to daytime, and I think that's about where we want to be. Go one more. There's also... Oh, I can't quite get the angle. So there's also a thing, so there's there, but which will take us past there, which is a good thing. So let's just go to here. You didn't need to, I didn't put my ice boots on. Panz, you're supposed to put the ice boots on. Uh-oh. Long crevasse hinders your advance. There's a narrow spot where you could attempt to jump. We go around, we gain some oxygen, but it takes too much time. We're going to jump. We jump and land safely. Alright, sleeping there. Takes us into daytime. We're going to gain our oxygen. We're almost getting our oxygen back from this thing, so that's kind of good. That was a good use of oxygen to energy. Alright, we're 6 hours before we can use our cooldowns. So that's where we're wanting to get to. That's a little concerning, but... Revenge of the Hermit. Gusts of snow pelt your face as a bear rears up in front of you. A glowing aura surrounds the creature, and it gestures at you to follow it. For a moment you wonder if you've gone insane, or maybe the hermit poisoned you, and now you are suffering the consequences. It is also possible that you are long dead and the bear is guiding you in the afterlife. We follow the bear. So you have been poisoned. This isn't quite the way you'd thought you'd go. You always figured you would wind up buried under an avalanche or crushed by a boulder. A proper mountaineer's death. You look around, the bear stops near some shrubbery. Behind it you can just make out the mouth of a cave. You cast about for a sign that you are in the afterlife. Nothing. But you do find some very real equipment. Your heart swells with gratitude. We get an oxygen mask. Plus 0.5 oxygen per hour when wearing the mask. Plus 0.5 oxygen per hour when resting in events. Would sleeping in a tent have increased the warmth? Sometimes. It depends on... I haven't worked out all the factors, but sometimes tent sleeping is increased warmth. Okay, we want our rock boots, and we want our climbing pickaxe. Okay. It'll cost us some energy, but we're gaining some body temperature because we've got it's daytime and we've got one with the stone, and we're gaining oxygen because of our mask and the fact that we're still within the breathing zone. Ooh, we are in the death zone. Oh, and it's spiders. We're going to reach into the hole. We've got a little bag. It's empty. Gain oxygen back while moving on the snow, or spend some body temperature to increase oxygen. No, I don't think. Yeah, no. Oxygen on snow sounds good. One with the snow. The one withs are really good. Gain body temperature on stone. Gain oxygen on snow. Hey, Tech. Tech, sorry. How you doing? The air is getting thin and your breath is heavy. You've entered the death zone. You pause for a moment to prepare for the difficult path towards the summit. Now we need to choose. Decreased energy cost for a short time. Decreased oxygen loss for a longer time. We'll gain some sanity and some health. Probably not that one. So it's not permanent. This one you get a decreased energy cost for a short time. We've got some oxygen things, so I don't think we don't have the best oxygen stuff, but we have some, and we've got a bottle. So I think we're going to take the decreased energy cost for a short time just to give us a nice little bit of a boost. Oh, you think it's 4 hours? That's not too bad. Except we're about to enter a cave for 4 hours. You enter a cave, it's dry and sheltered from the wind. However, you notice a strong smell. Let's follow the smell. Can't find anything except fur and bones. But we've got some experience. I'm just going to check the sleep thing. Yeah, so we could gain some temperature here. We do lose a fair bit of oxygen though. It is towards the end of the day. It almost makes me want to sleep twice. That's the problem. The long sleep only takes us to there. I think I think we go for a no sleep because we'll lose too much daytime. Remember, we've got to get back down as well, which we might come back the other way then. Or just go, it's going to depend where the pickup is. But there is something there we could go for. I'm going to hit both of these on the way out. We might take that one? Don't know. Okay. While moving through rough, stony terrain, you step on a treacherous piece of rock, twisting your ankle. Oh man, 24 hours. That's a rough one, that one. Oh, the summit fever looks like it was about 8 hours. Okay, give us something good. There's an active fire pit, but not a soul around. The flames seem to be fighting the icy wind for survival. Watching the fire dance, the face of the cold is almost meditative. You watch it for a while and regain energy. Oh, there's stuff down the back there. Steaming hot water bubbles. We got a second hot spring. Yeah, we're taking the hot bath, which I still don't understand why we don't get body temperature from the hot bath. We get sanity though, which is nice. Oh wow. Okay, so we did look at one point of going around the back of this, and that's just so cool that the back would have been another viable way. A bit longer, but would it have been easier? It looks more... It looks like the slightly longer path was more consistently sloping up. Like, if you look at that, it looks really clean as it steps up. Right? And then it sort of gets sharper up through there, but it's always going up. Whereas we had a bit of ups and downs and stuff. And change of terrain. Whereas that's, like, largely snow and ice, very little rock. So depending on what gear you have, you could think of that as well. Do we want to be going over for that one? How far away is that? That's like there. We get oxygen on the snow. And then we're sort of heading up to the treasure. I don't know if we go to that. Is that a shrine? That's a shrine. We might take the shrine. What do we have there? Treasure and an encounter. I wonder if it's probably better to take all the things along the way. Is that worth the detour down there? Just to hit the things. Let's not. Okay, so if we are looking at hitting that one though. Singles until there. Is that ice? One looks like it's... I don't know if that's ice. I might just go to there, actually. And then walk around it. That one might be a... No, it's not. We don't want to change oxygen for energy here. You tried to time out my mod for posting a link. Nice one. Okay, so this is an interesting choice, right? We need to get to here. We put our ice shoes on now because we're not on, which increases our energy across them, but we run the risk of a critical. Or we go that way and don't run the risk of a critical. Which I think is probably better. But costs us a little bit more energy. Oh, I should have my walking stick on, Panz. Okay, change to... Man, you could have snow boots as well and you'd be, like, changing all your gear. Do it. temperature going up, not losing as much oxygen. But again, we're one with the snow, and we've got the oxygen mask. So we're really able to stall the oxygen quite well here. Oh, it's just up there. A flock of migratory birds flies over your head. You gawp incredulously as the animals change formation and make shapes in the heavens. Migratory birds are extremely rare at these altitudes, but the sight of them warms your heart and your body as well. Come on. As the birds slowly disappear over the horizon, you think about all the mysteries and inexplainable things you've encountered during your journey. Are they the result of natural phenomena? Are they anomalies? Or could mysterious occupiers be behind them all? You still don't understand what's happening here, but something inside you tells you will find what you're looking for. A lot of experience, and we're fully sane. Alright, so that's where we're going. And for the most part, we're happy just to get there. Okay, so we're walking stick. Yep. And being on the snow is good. It is getting nighttime. We have no tent. There's no use tent option. We are going to get very, very cold. That is 10 hours of sleep. We're losing 30 body temperature, which would take us 6 hours of walking to do. We do gain energy, which is good, but and we can't sleep the whole night, so we should walk a little bit. The sanity issue is not a deal. Like, we don't have a choice of using a tent or not. I'm just comparing whether sleep or not sleep. Yeah, I'd rather be warm than say. Well, depends how insane you're willing to get. Yeah, we are on a mountain. We don't want to get too crazy, I guess. I'm tempted to do the oxygen for energy swap. Only because we're maintaining our oxygen on the snow and we have an oxygen bottle and energy's rough. We discover a bird's nest. That is extremely unusual at this altitude. You find some herbs in the nest. So that'll get us to our point where we are extremely cold. We might get some warmth from the shrine. There's no ice. We've got thing boots on. So we'll be warmed up by there. We just have to hope no sanity sort of, or whatever the... Oh, look, we're going to get our thing back. We feel our feet turning numb from the cold. Wiggle your toes, warm yourself up. Despite the exercise, you're getting colder and colder. You do not know how much longer you'll be able to withstand it. We're okay. Oh, wow. That was a huge hit. We were going to be warmed up by here as well. or something was going to have happened by then. Oh, we spent too much time. We just spent like 10 hours wiggling our toes. Okay, just if anyone else is playing, if you've been cold for a little bit and you get the option to wiggle your toes, don't wiggle your toes. What was that? That cost us a lot of oxygen as well. Oh, wow. That's terrible. Missed the choice. Well, it was... the choice was to do nothing about our toes getting cold or wiggle our toes. I'm like, yeah, let's wiggle our toes a little bit. Dude stands there and wiggles his toes for like 10 hours and continues to freeze and depletes his oxygen and just overall makes a terrible choice. One of the things that we don't know is if any of these choices are dynamic or if they all have specific outcomes, in which case it just becomes play by wiki. Either way, it becomes play by wiki. And I think it's something that we've discussed with a lot of games like this. With events, having the discoverability is one thing, but having longevity means you don't want players having to resort to using their memory or a third-party program, which includes a piece of paper on a clipboard. So being able to just tell them in-game, this is what's going to happen with even if it's a 50-50 chance, at least then you get to weigh them up, right? But put all the variables that are going to change in there, because otherwise, wikis exist. You know, so once you get past the fact that you don't want to do discoverability or remember the events, like I'll remember the dude that gave me the bear poison and that ended up being good, and we'll take that again and see if we get a different outcome. But we know spiders. Reach in for the spiders because so far the spiders have not been bad. But after a while, there's a lot of these ones, so I don't know. Just my random thoughts. Still can't believe dude stood there for 10 hours wiggling his toes. Cold creeps under your clothes. When you check your boots, you notice bluish discoloration on your shin. It extends down to your foot, turning red at the toes where your skin is thin and covered in blisters. When you try prodding your toes, they ooze out a foul-smelling secretion. Strange, it doesn't hurt at all. Should you be worried? Yeah, we should, but let's not stand here for another 12 hours looking at it. Oh, no, there's definitely... Have events that can go 50-50 or even 30-70. You know, but make it known that there are multiple what the multiple outcomes are. Drink the ooze so we don't lose fluid. Now that's top tier thinking. What is the sleep option? We run out of oxygen and sanity, but we're not moving during the night. Okay, so let's sleep long. Okay, let's use our oxygen bottle. Put our walking stick on. little bit of temperature. There's something there. Oh, that bit's unpassable. Okay. Ice? Look like any ice. So we got stone, we're doing okay. Very slightly gaining temperature. You spot a backpack dangling from the upper branches of a skeletal tree. A few monkeys are clambering amongst the boughs. They screech at you as you approach. Wait for the monkeys to leave. After the monkeys finally move on, you pull the backpack down from the tree and find equipment inside. Gloves. Okay, so we can have better temperature or less energy usage. And I think at the moment, I'm kind of wanting that temperature. Right? We're almost there, boys. Like, there it is. It doesn't seem to be anything to collect or whatever along the way. So this is where it's interesting, right? From here, it's from the center to the side, up one, and then again from the side to the center, right? So we're moving across one tile. So effectively we're moving across two tiles to zigzag, but we still have to go up one, right? Or if we go across to this one and up one on each step, right? Or if we go across the half and then up two and then across, that's a shorter path. But the game sort of gives an indication that climbing up one is quicker than 2+. And I think that's a distinction that's you know what I mean? So just looking at just this section here, actually let's get to the first one, which is, we're going to make it here, right? Okay, now assuming no other assistance from hiking staffs or walking or climbing axe, the choice is to go across a half, up two in a row, and then across a half. Or oh, we can have a look here. Okay, let's compare it. So going across two, but with two individual climbs with no aids, is going to take 3.1 energy, give us 1.5 body temperature and 0.4 oxygen. Going straight up is 6.2 energy. We're only going to gain 0.8 body temperature, whereas the other way we would have gained 1.5. So that's only 3.1 energy. So there's a significant energy difference. Okay. So now we can compare, since that's our common spot. Oh, oxygen though? Oxygen minus 0.4. To get to there, minus 0.2. Because time-wise it's shorter? Is it going to tell us on the time? It's going to take 23 minutes to do that. Where it's going to take 45 minutes to go that way. Alright, so what that says is 23 versus 45, which I'm going to say is 22. Oh, wait. That one's taking 45. That one's taking 23. Which is a little bit over half. Is time that big of a factor for us? I don't think time... Well, time does factor into it, though, because the longer it takes you during the day means the sooner night time comes. You do lose temperature over time at night. We're gaining temperature now, though, because we're moving in the snow. However, here's the other weird one. We do have aids that will help us. So we've got like the hiking staff, which going this way will reduce that 45 to 41, which means we use less oxygen. Oh, we're only using 3.1 energy. Whereas that one, which is a 6.2. Oh, look at that. That's supposed to give us an energy difference, right? Oh, that's a time cost. Oh, it's a time cost. Okay. So that reduces it from 23 to 21. So it's more of a time one, not the energy one. I'm more worried about the body temperature. So by going like that is going to increase our body temperature more. I think that's worth more for us. So something like that is going to take just over an hour, and we're going to gain 2 degrees body temperature. Sleeping at night is worth about 2 degrees an hour, I think. Moving at night's like 5 degrees. It might be worse up here because it's more temperature. So because it's taking less time now, we get less body temperature. Yeah, definitely sleeping. Well, we'll have to compare it. So that's the difference between planning big routes, or not planning big routes, but planning more sections versus doing the extra climbs. Going straight up a thing is much quicker, but uses a lot more energy. But being, like, that's hugely energy efficient compared to... I wonder what the down one is. Alright, let's have... Oh, I can't check from here. I'll have to check from a different spot. Oh, we can check here. The down energy is 1.5 to go down. What was it to go up? If it's 1.5 to go down, if we come back again, and it's 1 point, so it's like 1.6. Okay, up or down. It costs no energy to go across a strait as well. But it takes time. Ah, that's interesting. We're getting warmth back. And it uses oxygen. You wonder if it's efficient to move back and forth on even ground. Yeah, I was just looking at that, and I think it is. Like, you lose some energy. No, you don't. There's no energy increase. But there's a time one. You do lose oxygen, though. So what we'd be doing is we'd be losing oxygen, but not that much on the snow. Whoa, 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 whoa. On even ground, he said, anyway. Because we've got the snow oxygen thing. But you gain temperature from moving. So that would be the equivalent of running around the campsite, I guess. You set up camp and then you're like almost doing laps of it. I wonder if there's an option just to pass time. There is not. Clear tomorrow. At any rate. So that's a nice new one to learn, that the trade-off is... so what's the energy cost for that? Is 6.2. Whereas going up 1 was what, 1.16? So there is a big gap from going from 1 vertical to 2 vertical. But it just isn't quite translated visually, the difference between 1 and 2. Because they still walk up to it and climb it as if they're scaling it. Whereas, I guess the assumption is if it's a change of 1, it's a slope, really. You feel transcendent as you look down the world below you. You have trembled and bled, wept and screamed. You have fallen and pulled yourself back up. You've stared death straight in the eye, and you're still standing, weakened, scarred, but full of pride. Achievement unlocked, the Savage Mountain. You hear the mountain whispering to you that you will not be worthy until you have scaled the third and final summit. You stamp your foot. You will succeed. Who else could hope to triumph if not you? You will join the ranks of history's greatest mountaineers one day soon. But before that, you have to survive the descent and find somewhere to rest. Lose significantly fewer health in events. No, it's not that good. Reduce sanity in events. Not also that good. Whenever you suffer a dangerous terrain event, gain some energy. Or increased maximum body temperature. Okay, so I was wondering where the use of that is. And I think the use of that is that it just buys you more time. If you're on top of it. You know, because you can warm up during the day and get it higher. Whereas I wonder if we want to take the adrenaline from dangerous terrain events. I think we're in a situation where this is going to be better, whereas if you got that early, you'd take it, right? Alright, let's have a look around. So we're going to get down there. Easy. That's how we do it. Oh, very dangerous terrain. I guess that's the first question is, do we want to go that way? So that was, we came up this way. I think that, like, down there is where we started. Yeah, or maybe even sort of down here-ish was where we started. Right? Because we came up, looking from down there, we were going up the right side, which is the left side from looking from here. And then we sort of came back around here and up through the middle. And that's when we noticed that big sweeping path around there. So we kind of came up this way just before, which isn't a bad one to get back down, right? I wonder if we want to go that way. We'll have a look at it sort of one by one. We definitely don't want to go... I don't think we want to go sort of around that way. Just jump. Yeah. Let gravity do the work. That's the way to do it, right? It looks like climbing down as well is the same cost as climbing up. Which kind of makes sense, because you don't want to, you've got to climb, you've got to have controlled descent. You're not just jumping, running and jumping down. So that's 6.3 to go down to. What was it the other way? 6.2, close enough. Yeah, maybe it's a little bit less going down. So now we have the sleep option, which we did build up some temperature. We got up to 20 degrees. We are going to lose all of that sleeping overnight, and then some. We're going to lose 5 an hour per moving versus, I don't know how much you lose sleeping. 2 per hour. But I think there's another factor in this because we're only looking at sleeping 6 and we're going to lose 20 body temperature. So there's something else affecting the that, and whether it's the height or the... I mean, it's clear though, isn't it? We're not having a blizzard right now. We're having a storm. Energy cost of climbing increased. So that's another thing to factor in, is that we've been doing these not really we've just been comparing, but there is a storm happening at the moment which is increasing the climbing. The energy cost of climbing. It's all about the sticks. About the sticks, no trouble. No. I should have been having that on. I think what we want to do is just walk until our temperature's getting real close. Okay, I actually... Oh, man. I think we might want to get onto this stuff. And then be sort of heading from there down. But not so direct. We can't see because it's like, so that's one of the things too. It won't let you route well at night because you can't see because it's dark. Wow, it's dark. How Marco? Yeah, I got it a couple of days ago. I reached out to I saw the game. It really interested me. I reached out to the devs and they were happy to give me a key. Started playing today. We cleared the first mountain where we just reached the summit of the second one. We're trying to get to base camp, or our new base camp on the way to third. Tell you what though, when you look up from the bottom of the second mountain and you look up to where you need to get to, it's a long way away. Can't imagine what it's going to be like when we get to the last mountain. No, I haven't found any gear for up here. So I don't know what it is. So maybe third mountain we get stuff like that. There's definitely some cool calculations though in between whether you want to take extra steps to go down one at a time. Or you want to take a more direct route. What's our stone perk? That's temperature, right? Okay, so if we take the stones instead. Okay. I think we're going to have to rest when we get there, though. Yeah. We're cold and almost insane. Okay, but at least now we can path. Alright, we're gonna get to there. Yeah, so remember we started somewhere way down, like there-ish. The slots, could those slots be New Game Plus? I doubt it. Is it supposed to be roguish? There's a thing just there. Okay, so that's the other thing we noticed. There was a lot of potential things to pick up along the backside of this mountain. There's a thing there as well. But I guess we'll find out. Okay, we're going to warm up, which is nice. Let's use these. We're going to get our oxygen gain on, hopefully. Yeah, we're in the death zone. We were just up at the summit. But I've got some perks that are helping out. Plus we got and an oxygen mask. Okay, so the energy... Okay, that's going down... Okay, yep. So between our perk for being our one with the snow and our oxygen mask. We're oxygen neutral in the death zone on snow. Okay, so we don't want the cave. I think the caves are not what we want. Well, not quite on some of those, but out of nowhere, a stranger suddenly appears. He is clad in furs, and his face, just visible amidst his heavy garments, looks sallow. As you approach, he proffers a small parcel wrapped in leather. I open the parcel. You find valuable equipment inside. You look up to thank the stranger, but he has vanished. Okay, we got better climbing gloves. So these are minus 10% energy. These are minus 15. So we definitely prefer the new climbing gloves over our tattered ones. But we're sticking with our temperature ones right now since it's really cold. I don't know if that was the same bear hermit, but maybe. Oh, there's a thing there. Okay. Let's go. Okay, put our ice boots on. Which one's the dangerous one? That one, they both are. Any ice one? How which boots made for walking? Yeah. So one's for ice and one's for rock. We don't have a snow one, so to get the best out of it, ideally we use the snow as like an intermediary. But you trudge along the slope piled high with snow. You sink deeper into the drifts with every step until suddenly your boot meets resistance. You push the snow aside, exposing metal surface with coloured markings on it. Faded but still identifiable, there's no doubt about it. You found the wing of a downed airplane. Oh, this is tough. Like, what are we going to get out of this that, like, apart from not being able to breathe, which is an issue. We've got just enough oxygen to do something little, but what did we just take as well? What's this one? We're going to gain 15 energy if we suffer a dangerous terrain. This isn't a dangerous terrain event. Oxygen tank and plane wings? Maybe. I don't want to be not breathing for a long time, though. That's the biggest problem. The 6.1 oxygen is all we have left, and that's why we're only losing 6.1. Oh, and a lot of energy. Right? They can't dig deeper. No, we're going to continue. We're not going to take that one. Oh, hang on. Did I have the wrong walking stick? Could have saved a little bit of time. We have an encounter there, but I think we're just going to go for that encounter and that one. And then we get... Man. So now it depends if we want to go up and down or slowly around. That one's got to go back up a fair bit as well. While climbing the next flat crevice, you lose your footing and start sliding down. After a few feet, you manage to catch yourself. Carefully let myself slide down the slope. Okay, so ice is bad, right? Even though we've got the ice stuff, ice is just bad. So we want to make we need to push through and suffer through that instead of trying to fight across there. Unless we get to that snow. Maybe we go that way. No shops around, and you'd have to leave the extreme theme park if you want to gear up. The shops here are too expensive. Yeah. Okay, so one of the benefits of going down a long climb is it counts as because it's one tile movement. You can go down a lot of ice with only one penalty check. As we struggle to breathe. Taking the view are overcome with elation. Mountains are without doubt the most beautiful structure on Earth. No man-made edifice, however magnificent it may be, can compete. You feel good, better than ever. The beauty of the mountain gives you strength. Continue to enjoy the view. You stay long. The longer you stay here, the bigger and more menacing the mountain appears. Your mood darkens. Uh-oh. Okay, we're gonna remember that for next time. Don't stick around. Now we can. I think we do the walk around here and try and get some temperature and get some goodies. Yeah, heading over the ice is just not good for us. Oh, and then it becomes dark. Now we're in trouble. You're laboriously pulling yourself up a rock face when you feel a pang of pain in your chest. Quickly you grip onto a protruding rock. The pain continues to travel. Dull burning, first in your arms, then in your throat and upper abdomen. Your strength is running out, but you can't stay here. Cold sweat beads your forehead. Your reserves are almost exhausted. You know, two brief sleeps. Alright, we've got daytime. We're 1 hour away from using our get body temperature up. And we're in soft snow, so we've got to be careful here. Not that we can do anything to be careful, but you know. Ready in 0 minutes. Jerks. And we're warming up. You put one foot in front of the other and suddenly you start to cough. You gasp for air, feeling as if your lungs are about to burst like ripe grapes. You feel like you're going to suffocate. You are overcome with panic. Your windpipe stings and your ribs ache. But the fit of coughing abates. You wipe your mouth. Your hand comes away with white foam and traces of blood. Okay, here we go. We're at a shrine. Oh, there's a stranger. I thought we were going to pray for one, like a stat. Stranger sitting motionless on a rock. His naked torso is adorned with a number of tattoos, strange patterns and symbols like those mostly worn by spiritual leaders of the local indigenous people. It is bitterly cold and you wonder whether the stranger has frozen to death. Talk to him. Spiritual journey _2 C102 _D. Now, have we gone crazy, or is this a placeholder to a something that the text hasn't been written? We can get more experience and lose even more oxygen when moving, or we can just get a small amount of experience. _backseating comment _ thanks, Mr. TNT. We don't want to be losing oxygen per hour when moving. We don't have any. And a little bit or a lot of experience really isn't going to help us. But the top one could lead to something else. So we've got to get somewhere down there. We are so close to getting out of the danger zone. The problem is we'd have to like super rest up and get back into it, or if we can get low enough down here. You take in the view and are overcome with elation. Mountains are without doubt the most beautiful structure on Earth. Okay, we're not going to continue to enjoy the view, we're just going to get going. You bolt forth like a young yak, but soon you notice something isn't right. Your legs are like rubber, your arms are no longer under your control. You drop down, unable to move on. Never before have you felt so helpless. You close your eyes, breathing calmly and evenly. Slowly you regain control of your body, pick yourself up. That's not good. Okay, put our stone boots on. I think if we get down there, we could actually go across the snow and get towards safety. We could be all right. I mean, we're probably going to be worse for wear in the very long term. Cold is unbearable. You don't know how much longer you're able to survive it. It's not looking good. Like, our health is getting really low. How can you regain health? We've got bandages, which will give us 2 health. There's certain events that will, like, heal you. When you get to the end of the, like, the rest point, you gain a significant amount of health back. You feel weak and exhausted, you doubt whether you can continue. Sit down and rest. You close your eyes and the world turns black, disoriented, freezing, you wake up again. We do have energy though. I think it's time to use the bandage. Yeah, under 6,000 meters. We're at 6,144 right now. So it's like, once we hit the snow, like down here, we'll start gaining oxygen. It's just getting there is gonna suck. Of course, blizzard. Just don't die on this one. Just make it to the bottom. As you painstakingly struggle forward, you're struck by a strange unease. Sure, you're exhausted. It's tempting to lie down here and sleep. If your unease grows stronger with every step you take, your doubts that you will ever reach your goals grow. Pull yourself together and push on. Cannot get the unease out of your head. Quite the opposite. The more you walk, the darker your thoughts become. Your energy reserves almost exhausted. Has this been for nothing? No, you don't want to die. Not here, not today. Yet you feel the icy fingers of death tugging at you. We can breathe though, right? We have oxygen. We have body temperature. And very soon we'll be able to get warm as we walk. We just have no energy. Every step is torture. If you could only sleep just for a few minutes. My eyes close. Pain wakes you up again. Are we dead? We have just enough, I think. We're on like we're on death. So we're like on our last scrap of health points. Yeah, we're on point one. Retrieval's there. I think we have the warmth with the stone. With the stone. Okay, if we can get to the stone. And start traversing around the stone. We've got a really good chance. Well, when I say really good, like, it's really good's not very accurate there. But better. Oh, stone boot. Yeah, we've got stone boots on. Remember, our boots are ice and stone, so snow's like where we put whatever we're going to be on next. So we'd swap that as soon as we got off the ice up there. I really want to get to that shrine. I think that's the... Like, we need that to be a place where we can old lady or rest. Like... Okay. We need this to be an old lady living in the mountains. We're up in the death zone doing it, but it's the bald golden eagle. Sanity or warmth? Let's take the warmth. Okay, let's... The next shrine is way down there. But we could actually be okay. Energy. Why can't I get to this? What reasons? What reasons? Yeah, we did go up. We went up to get warmth. We're about to get down below it right now, though. So I think this is like a rest right now. Like we can't. Definitely don't want to risk that critical. Resting's going to cost us temperature though. It's like it's the energy, man. This is. But supplies. I ate the food. We have half temperature. We have no energy. And sleeping will put us into nighttime. So we'll lose temperature getting to nighttime, and then it'll be nighttime. Is that all ice? It's all ice. We go from like there. What does 3 do? It's supposed to prevent critical interruptions, but I haven't had it prevent any. Well, we've had it where we've been interrupted, but maybe that's not critical. But I'm looking at this guy thinking maybe that's critical where just a regular exclamation mark isn't. We could try. Ignore critical events. Let's see what happens. Well, yeah. You come across the remnants of a wolf. Oh. And that is all. Yeah, we should have probably pathed differently. Like to there. Yeah. Okay, I want to make it to nighttime and then sleep. Preferably on the stone. Wonder if we should have swapped back. We have temperature now. I think we should be swapping back to energy cost, right? Or do we have enough temperature? It depends if we have enough temperature to get through the night. I wonder if our one with the stone only gives us while we're traveling. Like that's energy cost of climbing increasing. That's sleep factor. Like we're gonna lose in 6 hours. We're losing 40 degrees. We lose less walking in the snow. Why is that? Unless it's because our health is low and our energy's low as well. No, but we have to sleep for energy, but don't want time. We want time to speed up a bit. All right, let's. Although we need. That's an energy increase, isn't it? Energy cost on terrain. It just must get real cold when in that sleep spot. Yeah, the sleep one's kind of weird. Like, it feels like we're losing too much temperature if we sleep. Right now. Like, it's going to be a super... Well, we are on a mountain. The penalty was very cold nights. And if we go up, we're in the death zone, even though that then gets us around to, like, there much. It's not actually that much quicker. Come on, little dude, trudge along. Okay, there's the collection point right there. Yeah, we do get heat from walking across the stone. We've got a perk. Like, look at that. That's insane. So it's pretty much nighttime for the whole of that, and we're losing close to... What's that, like... 8 degrees an hour? And we only lose 5 degrees an hour walking, but we don't have energy. So let's just do the brief sleep. Right, energy costs, man. It's insane. Wrong sticks, Panz. Old Pittance. You guys wanders up towering vertical rock face. Your eye is suddenly caught by cast iron rings. Old Pittance. You tilt your head all the way back. You can make out the Pittance lead to a small plateau. Why would anyone have gone to the effort of trying to reach it? No. We will never know. It seems so close. I have a bad feeling about that though. There's a lot of bads. That one's critical. No. No critical. Something's running out there. We'll get to use warm up while we walk and reduced energy cost. Maybe that. So there's heat. Our sanity's on 0.3 and our health is 0, so we can't even take the drugs. So we just have to not do anything that makes us go insane. Oh, we're going to go insane anyway. Because sanity is just decreasing. So the other option is we can take the herbs and run out of health. Okay, maybe that'll just start giving us the heartbeat. Because a voice in your head whispers to you, urging you to jump into the abyss. It's the only way to reach your destination. You try to ignore them, but they only grow louder and more threatening. You will die a miserable death if you don't do as they say. You slap yourself, but the voices remain. You clench your fist and punch the rocks till your knuckles bleed. The pain brings you back to reality, and the voices go silent. And we lost like that 0.1 of a hit point that we had. Exhausted, you collapse in the snow. You've given everything you have, but it wasn't enough. Your journey is an end, and now a new one begins. Yo. We're like without knowing what happens, I think in hindsight, if we just the night before, if we just had a sleep and gone for it, I think we make it. Like crawl into that last one. That's so cool. I like this. This is good. So one of the issues though is that even if we make that, I think you're so far behind, it's extremely unrealistic to make the next one, right? Not impossible, but you just can't do it. Right? I think what you need to do is you need to finish stronger in the first mountain. And you're trying to stay above that curve. And I also think, and it's knowing where the balance is, right? Taking perks that are going to benefit you long term instead of something that's a short term gain for right now. Because even though you might need that short term gain for right now, that's what resources are better for. Whereas perks are better to continually give you stuff. Yeah, frozen hands from Mountain 1, right? Not fully understanding the value in energy for zigzagging versus climbing. And then obviously the trade-off. Do you want to zigzag? You want to zigzag during the day because it uses less energy. It takes a little bit longer, but energy is important. how much do you want to sleep in the night versus walking in the night? That's a tough one though, because I feel like if it's bad stormy weather, you're just screwed anyway, right? So walking in the night is going to cost you 5 degrees an hour, but sleeping in the night is going to cost you 4 degrees an hour. You may as well be walking. I really liked it. And I was kind of hoping to, like, any games I play, I hope to enjoy. But I was kind of hoping to find a game I wasn't going to get sucked into so much, because, like I said, we've got a whole bunch of RPGs coming out that I want to dedicate time to, and now I just want to, you know, I want to sink a bunch of time into this. So I guess, I mean, we'll sink a bunch of time into this. It just felt good, and it's original. I mean, clearly, it's a clone of Bed at Foddy's Getting Over It. But other than that, it's nice to see something that, like, I'm glad they didn't do something like, let's put cards in it, let's make it a deck builder, let's do, you know, they took, you know, the events are good, but not sure if the events have different outcomes. It's a Hex 100% Civ clone. I don't know, it's climbing a mountain. That's Ben at Foddy's Getting Over It, like, literally climb the mountain. You're even in a pot with a sledgehammer and no legs. So, you know, clearly a rip-off of Getting Over It. Wait, well, we're not in a giant cauldron with no, that's just... This is just, like, visual bug.